take us away with takeaways.
So we usually don't mention the toasts, but actually, I think it's worthwhile to mention the toast this time because, Tony, you mentioned about like AI is going to need the skills of semantics and ontologies.
Yes.
Which I think is a key theme and a key insight. I think a lot of folks in both the data and the AI side, if you think of that as a bit of a Venn diagram, are now thinking a lot about. And then Matt, you toasted to careers and how careers are evolving and changing and shifting, in maybe in some ways for the better, in some ways for the scarier, but that's an interesting area that a lot of folks are, I think, focused on, and especially young people are looking for advice on. So I think those were very good toasts. We started off talking about AI magical thinking. The quote are from Arthur Clarke about any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And at first we all got very excited about the magic, but I think we're now all realizing that, there is no such thing as a silver bullet. It's usually lead bullets. And the lead bullets are things like agentic architectures and ontologies and context and good old fashioned, if this, then that, and things like that. And so I think that's, we talked a little bit about how, LLMs, maybe they can generate an ontology for you, but shared understanding is very important. Ontologies, enterprise data models, data modeling in general, alive and well, and probably needs to be more alive and more well. So a lot that's there to discuss. And then, we shouldn't confuse scale with intelligence. We started to talk about frontier AI and some of the things going on, all the money that's being pumped into the AI space. We'll see where that goes. Maybe, our robotic overlord comes out of all of this and we're like, hey, I was wrong. The oracle was created. But more likely is intelligence is going to be more complex and involve lots of different kinds of models.
Yes.
So, Juan, what about you? What were your big takeaways?
Yeah, so we talked a lot about agentic architectures, right? So we're building out the scaffolding around LLMs to make them deterministic when they have to be. We're dealing with these issues of catastrophic forgetting, right? You're losing generalization versus you have too much generalization. So that's that balance that we're figuring out. There's really a lot of new opportunities to extend beyond LLMs. And this is like what we're discussing about with John LeCun when he's left. It's like there's so many people who are just focusing just on LLMs, that's their thing, but you should be able to focus on there's other ways of doing that. LLM is just one of those tools.
Right.
And each model has their own strength. I really love how we did a discussion about how LLMs may have this kind of parallel to like databases. You'll have these handful of like the frontier models, the big ones, there are 4 or 5, and there will be a long tail that will be very specific for things. And then we also discussed about, hey, graphs. I mean, every year we talk about, is this the year of the graph? I mean, by the way, I think there's a panel that I have recorded on YouTube at Day-to-Day Texas, parentheses, everybody go to Day-to-Day Texas.
Yes.
I got my code, honest, no BS, get a discount with that one.
Our code is this about data, all caps. No,
there you go. Choose let them know that we're helping the community. And then I think like 5 years ago I was at a panel like this is the year of the graph. But anyways, starting in 2026, you're saying, Matt, that graphs will become an analyst superpower. What we're seeing is like mapping graphs over normalized relational schemas, but that means that we actually have to be modeling the data, and that's the part that's missing. We discussed around the separation of things in computation. We separated compute and storage, and we kind of like go through this history of what comes around, goes around. There's been a lot of talk about knowledge graph, but not that much of actually seeing this in practice. We talk about we need more cultural change, and it's like really it's just taking that curiosity. Matt, you give your example of like in your data engineering course, you're just running through some graph tutorials. Just go try it out, and then when you realize if you have your data normalized, you can really take advantage of a lot of this graph thinking. How do you get into data? You try out things with Excel, you try things with Panda. Like that's when you go do things to get more graph curious. And Tony, your final thought, I love this. Take a look at the details and use your common sense. Don't just look at the higher level trends and hype. Look at the edges. Guys, anything we missed?
I think that's about it. That's an amazing
I think my mind is fried at this point. You've sucked all the intelligence. What little was left out of it.